Okay, last topic that I want to kind of get to here, and I won't take super long on this. I want to make this very, very clear. And I just want to start with this at the top. What I'm about to show you, it doesn't affect my life in any single way. I just more so think like, are we living in Looney Tunes land? Like, is this real life? Like, am I sleeping? Like, there's just no way this is real life. Like, again, it doesn't affect me at all. I understand that. And again, I want to make this very, very clear. If Matthew Berry said, Trey, I understand you've been kicking my ass in fantasy the last couple of years. You are 24-4 in direct challenges based on my personal list. I would like to have you on my side. Here's $100,000 to join my fantasy team. I'd tell it to go shove it up his ass. Like, look, I don't care who Matthew Berry hires. I'm not interested in ever working for the guy. That part is irrelevant to me. What I will say is this. You know, the websites out there like Outkick who get like actually angry about this shit, which I'm not one of them. I think those people are kind of fucking lunatics. I'm not siding with those people. It's stories like this that make me understand why they get to the point where they get to. Let's get into it. So, I wrote this article yesterday. I'll let you read it on your own. When I do I'm going to cut these up into segments. So I'll upload the Shamar Stewart part individually. I'll upload the hot takes part individually. I'll upload this part individually. I'll put this link in the description. You can kind of read it on your own. Okay. What I really want to do here is play this clip. Now, this guy is, I guess his name is Lawrence Jackson. He is part of the Matthew Berry Fantasy Football Happy Hour crew, which one part of that crew is Connor Rogers, who we've gone over already. Don't trust him. He's totally uneducated. And really, he showed his true colors last year by saying, I like it, when Matthew Berry said the dumbest thing of all time, which was Ben Sinnott was going to outscore Brock Bowers, which if you actually cover the draft, there's no possible way you could ever think that. And the fact that Connor Rogers didn't even try to speak up against it shows that guy has no balls. And if you want to even go and talk about Connor Rogers, go look up the NBC Sports Boston interview that he did with them about Jalen Polk. It'll make you laugh. So feel free to do that on your own. Then there's the Australian guy who apparently works for a sports book. You can tell he knows nothing about football. Saints going to the Super Bowl. You can go look that up yourself too. This right here. And there's really two side angles with this. Number one, maybe this is a Make-A-Wish hire. Maybe this guy is actually mentally Riri. Maybe he's actually like, I don't know, did they find him at the St. Jude's Children's Hospital and like they felt bad for him and gave them a job? Like maybe that's the case and that's the elephant in the room and I'm not aware of it. This guy, like, and again, I'll say this. I'm not the most professional guy in the world. I totally understand that. Like there is the professional journalism out there. And then there's like, hey, there's the new media coming. I just think at some point there's got to be a line. And this guy just totally crosses it in the sense that, like, are you going to even try to enunciate proper English? You got a better chance of listening to a random Chinese person talk than you do of hearing this guy. And I tell kind of a story here. I went on a date with a Haitian girl. I only picked up about 3/4 of what she was saying. That's not the reason why it ended. I got a better chance of understanding her than I do this guy. So let me just play this. I might pause and come back to it, but let's just play this because I physically can't understand why anyone would hire this guy, let alone NBC Sports. Like, if I was NBC Sports, I would be utterly humiliated that this guy's on my network. But let's talk about it.
Everybody love them some Cam Ward.
Everybody love that some Cam. Are you in a fucking black church? What are you trying to accomplish here, buddy? Like, listen to this guy. And thank God for the subtitles. Thank God for the subtitles, or you'd never be able to pick up on what he's saying.
Everybody love them some
Everybody love them some can't. Like, bro, you're not cool. Like, there's one or two scenarios here. He's either mentally challenged, and I'm just not understanding it. Like, he was a pity party hire. Maybe that's the case. And if that's the case, I apologize. Look, if NBC Sports wants to hire somebody mentally challenged, that's on them. Look, I'm not discriminating against that. Maybe he's actually like, maybe he's got a low insert the R word. Maybe that's him. I don't know. Like, maybe that's the case. Or option number two, he's doing this to like sound cool. Like, is that the pitch here? Like, there's no way this guy graduated like college. I refuse to believe that. Can we play this again?
Everybody love them some Cam Ward now, huh? These the two reasons why. First one is they was late to the party. When you late and wrong about something, you got to make up for that by going over the top.
Over the top. Oh, my God. Look, I don't need to address the elephant in the room. There's one reason why NBC Sports hired this guy to be part of the Matthew Berry happy hour. Matthew Berry is white. Then you got an Australian guy who is also white. And then you got Connor Rogers, who is also white. Insert this guy. You know, they have Skip Bayless argue against Shannon Sharp, or they have Skip Bayless argue against Stephen A. Smith. This is no different here. You don't need me to tell you what this is. You don't need me to tell you what this is. But I really want to stress this part right here. Everybody has Cam Ward ranked first. Who are you trying to say was wrong about this? That's what I want to know. First of all, if you go back and read my stock report notes, I said Cam Ward was better than Michael Penix when he was at Washington State. So he's clearly not talking about me. I don't know who he was referring to here. But I really want to play this part of the clip.
To the party. When you late and wrong about something, you got to make up for that by going over the top. And that's why now Cam Ward is far and away the best quarterback in this NFL draft.
Yes.
Way better than Shador at this point.
Yes.
Look at these numbers right here. This is what Cam Ward did before he even took a snap at Miami. All this tape and all this film on Cam Ward was available. But it took him a good season at Miami, plus after the season, to be deemed the far and away best quarterback prospect. Same folk telling your arch man and already a top 5 pick after making 2 college starts.
Yes.
See, nah, Cam Ward always been nice, or at least I thought so.
Pause. So he says, ignore the Caden Salter part, where he crosses out Caden Salter stuff. He's trying to pretend that Caden Salter is going to be this top tier NFL quarterback prospect. So let's take another pause. Let's rewind this back. Let's rewind this back. Hold on.
Everybody love them some Cam Ward now, huh?
That's
These
right.
the two reasons why. First one is they was late to the party. When you late and wrong about something, you got to make up.
So we're going to criticize. I don't know who we're trying to criticize here. Again, obviously not talking about me, because I said Cam Ward was better than Michael Penix when he was at Washington State. So he's clearly not speaking about me. I don't know who he's trying to criticize here, because everybody has Cam Ward ranked first. Again, I don't know. But we're going to go on this rant about how you're late and wrong about something, so you got to make up for it. But then you're going to be the fucking ignorant asshole who says, ignore the part where I'm talking about Caden Salter. How about you fucking scumbag take some accountability? You don't want to do that, though. You don't want to take any fucking accountability for when you were wrong. Isn't that funny how it works? By the way, admitting when you're wrong is what gives you credibility, which is why every once in a while I write the exposing myself on my worst NFL draft takes, which nobody else fucking does. You can go to the website. I wrote one on Amon-Ra St. Brown. I had him ranked too low. I wrote one on Josh Rosen. I had him ranked QB3 in that draft, below Josh Allen and Sam Darnold. That was wrong. I called myself out for it. Admitting when you're wrong is what gives you credibility. Smart people learn from their mistakes. The smartest people learn from other people's mistakes. I'm a firm believer in that. When you say, oh, you were late to the party. Now you gotta make up for being over the top. When you late and wrong about something. And then you say, ignore the part where I write about Caden Salter being F4 draft prospect. You're a fucking ignorant douchebag. Let's play.
Was they ain't work out for quarterbacks to making 2 college starts. See, Cam Ward always been nice, or at least I thought so. Ignore the Caden Salter part, but what?
Ignore the Caden Salter part. Ignore the Caden Salter part. I'm not even gonna make you watch the rest of this. You can do so on your own. And again, we know why this guy has a job with NBC Sports. Matthew Berry is white. The Australian guy, he kind of looks Chinese actually, but I think he's white. And then you got Connor Rogers, who is also white. Insert this uneducated douchebag, right? And even if you go look at his Twitter account, I'm on the south side. I'm on the south side. What the fuck, man? What is this real life? I'm on the south side. I'm on south side. And again, I'll just put the article in the description. You can read that on your own. Again, there's really 2 possibilities here. Maybe this is a Make-A-Wish hire, and I'm actually being an asshole. I will leave that open for interpretation. If I'm not actually understanding that, please comment, because if that's just the massive elephant in the room and people already know that he's a Make-A-Wish hire, please tell me, because I don't want to make fun of someone who's actually mentally challenged. I just don't think that's actually the case here. I think people are actually taking this seriously, and I think it's a fucking goddamn joke. To the point where, like, this is NBC Sports. They're supposed to be a mainstream sports media outlet. First of all, how do you hire someone who just can't enunciate anything properly in English? B, does he think he sounds cool? Like, at some point, let's be less of a you-know-what. Please. Like, that entire clip was so race-baity, was so fucking ignorant. And by the way, you're going to say, oh, you're making fun of people for saying Cam Ward. Oh, he, late to a party. You were late and wrong. And then you say, ignore the case all part. What a ignorant fucking scumbag. I'll leave you guys with this. Dear Lawrence Jackson, I am putting this out there for anybody to go see. So anybody watching this, please tag him in this. Please bring it to his attention. Again, I don't give a fuck about this guy. He doesn't affect my life in any possible way. If you say, Trey, you could trade lives with Matthew Berry, I'd say, fuck you. No shot. If he offered me a $100,000 check, I'd say, go shove it up his ass. And again, that's the reason why I started the Matthew Berry challenge. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, I want to prove I'm better than you. I don't want to fucking be part of your fucking bullshit team. Be that as it may. I will challenge this Lawrence Jackson to an open debate. Open debate. We'll get a moderator. We'll have a set list of topics. Me versus that scumbag. Open debate. I am officially challenging the guy who is either mentally by the way, if he's mentally disregard this part. Like, if he's actually has an IQ of 45 and he needs help crossing the street, because that's the way he sounds. If like he's actually in that category, disregard everything that I'm about to say. But if he's like actually, he doesn't need help crossing the street, he can actually clothe and feed himself, that kind of thing. Again, feel free to tag him in this, but I am officially challenging him in a debate, and I just want to see if he has any balls to show up. So I'll leave you with that. That's the Draft Busters recording for today.